go. But if I was to let go of one whole hand, as you can see, the rope itself begins to mend. And that's how memory membrane works. It's two separate strands that work together as long as the memory itself can interlink itself. Thank you. Thank you.
So now you just flat out, you don't have a wheelchair.
I don't have a wheelchair, yeah.
I'm sorry, he doesn't. That's it. Now this is a brand new wheelchair that you got from your brother from the mainland. That was $240, $249, about $250.
No, actually, well, the wheelchair that he got was like $249, and I was able to get it. Awesome. I met up with another guy, and he looked at my wheelchair, and he was like, "Yo, that wheelchair looks raggedy compared to the one I got." I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "I got a better manual wheelchair at the house. I'm willing to trade it for you." I was like, "Cool, I ain't got no money though." Like, that was one thing that I was worried about, was I had to pay money. He was like, "You don't got to pay no money. Just bring that wheelchair. We'll go ahead and switch it off." So we was able to trade off for a wheelchair that cost $240 from my brother, with the other guy whose wheelchair was like $1,000 something. It was a very fast wheelchair. It was something that I was able to move on. I was able to get to work quick enough with that. I would leave the house. I would leave the apartment around 2. I think I started at 2. And I would leave the apartment around 1:45 and still be able to make it to work on time.
Now you rely on your wheelchair for your work, for your living, for your recreation. This is your legs. Your wheelchair are your legs, right? So we really need to do this and get the word out to the people. And hopefully, Kalihi, we're rough, but we love one another. And so it's shocking to us that someone in our district would do that. So we're going to get the word out, and hopefully, no questions asked, someone can get that wheelchair back to me, and we'll get it back to you. I think they're going to ask you a few questions, and I think, Cece, maybe if you can stand next and flank your son with me, that would be really helpful, because I totally didn't know. Now you don't have no wheelchair. I thought he had an extra wheelchair, so now that I know he has no wheelchair, it even makes it more compelling that we get you your wheelchair. Yeah, so I think they're going to ask some questions from you. Go ahead, anyone.
Raymond, tell me, where was the wheelchair stolen again?
The wheelchair was stolen at my apartment. Usually I park the wheelchair right into the laundry room because it's the closest thing for me to get down when I need to go somewhere. I could just immediately go down the stairs and then go straight into the laundry room and grab the wheelchair. I didn't leave it locked up because in my mind I was like, it's a wheelchair. Who would ever steal a wheelchair like that? That's unreasonable for somebody to actually take a wheelchair when it's something that somebody uses for themselves, right? So I mean, I left it downstairs. I got downstairs the next morning, and when I looked, it was gone. I wanted to cry at first, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe my girlfriend probably put it in her car. That's the next obvious reasoning. I went to the car, I looked, and that's when I started shedding tears. I was like, oh my God, somebody stole my wheelchair. I was hurt and devastated, but I tried keeping my spirits up that day, but it was very hard.
What does a wheelchair mean to you?
Wheelchair means a lot. I mean, that's my legs. I'm a street performer. I love to go to Waikiki every Friday, and I love to do magic. However, the best way for me to get around in Waikiki that I realized was using a wheelchair. When I first went out to Waikiki to perform magic, I was on 2 crutches. And I realized the furthest I could go was probably half a mile, not even half a mile. That was one of the struggles for me trying to get around in Waikiki doing magic. So I was like, you know what? Let me put my ego and my pride aside and let me just use the wheelchair. I got onto the wheelchair, and I seen how fascinating it was for me to go from one bar to the next bar quickly without even like struggling for anything. So yeah, that's really a big part of my life.
What do you hope to have happen?
I just want to see the wheelchair come back. The wheelchair itself is a sentimental value for me only because I got it for free, and it was like the first thing that I got that cost so much for free, right? And then on top of that, like the fact that I put so much into it, like I used to sit there because I can't drive, so I used to sit there and tell myself, like when people's cars got broken into or something like that, I used to be like, dang, I wouldn't know how that felt because I can't drive, right? But then like when the wheelchair got stolen, I was like, that was a feeling right there. I was like, oh my God, like my wheelchair is gone. It's kind of like a car being gone or somebody stole a radio out of a car. It was just a missing part of my life. I was like, dang.
Representative, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah. Representative, I see you getting emotional. What's going on?
I know Raymond. I've known him for a couple of years now, and he's never felt that he's entitled to anything. He's always had a positive attitude. His wheelchair is his life. He works with it. He goes, this is all his recreation, his living. And he's such a kind, gentle soul. He's got a great heart. And when we met, the first time we met, it was electric. He did a card game with me, and we got close, and we've never been apart since then. And for someone to steal his wheelchair, again, Kalihi, we're tough, but we don't do that, and it's devastating. And so I told Cece, I'll tell your son, we're going to do our best to get his wheelchair back. So we're just making it clear out there. It's not the right thing to do, Kalihi. Call me up, no questions asked. I just want Raymond, I want Paulie Houdini to get his wheelchair back. He's so kind. He doesn't say negative things to anybody. Of all people, this is not right. Not for him. A kind person like him, never negative. He never feels sorry for himself. Never felt that he was entitled to anything. He's good people. It's not right.
Question, Mom?
Go ahead.
Mom, what are you feeling?
Well, the whole thing with me is Raymond, like I told Mizuno, this is his legs. This is how he gets to work. This is how he commutes. This is how he gets to wherever he needs to get. Raymond is the only one that don't live with me. He kind of, him and his girlfriend got their own place, and that's where his wheelchair got stuck. So this is his legs to come back and forth, because we're like maybe about 10 minutes away. So he comes back and forth to see mom, grandma, all of us, because our family is very family oriented. And you know, just seeing his wheelchair gone, that's his legs. So he wasn't able to come see us, and that's the reason why. It's because really, Kalihi, I mean, we are what we are, but to take a wheelchair from somebody that, you know, it's like, that's ridiculous, you know, and then it's a gated community. It's kind of weird how somebody would just come in and take it, and it's a gated community, you know, so that's my whole thing. I think, you know, and then he came, the day his wheelchair got stolen, I've never seen Raymond cry. That day he came in, he was like, Mom, you know, somebody stole my wheelchair, and I was like, no, that couldn't be. He was like, yeah, how serious? Raymond's a joker, so I thought, okay, he's joking. But when I seen tears in his eyes, that's when I knew it was serious.
Tell me a little bit more. How does it make you feel that someone would actually do this?
How does it make me feel? It's, I guess I can say that it's, you know, it's not right. You know, it's not right for you to just come and take anything that do not belong to you. I mean, and then a wheelchair, you know, it's like, why would you take a wheelchair? You know, and it's like, I heard a lot of stories about people, but when it hits your own family, it's heartbreaking. Because Raymond, his source of income is, he goes out there, he does his, you know, he does his magic, and he's still fighting SSI just to approve. We've been on this case for since he was 18. He's now 23. They keep denying him. And this is his only source of income. You know, so for me, whoever took the wheelchair, you know, it's sentimental to him. You know, so I feel like, you know, if you have the wheelchair, that's all we want. Just bring the wheelchair back. We're not even gonna hesitate. Like Mizuno said, no questions asked. Just bring the wheelchair. That's all he wants.
Police, have they done anything, or you made a report?
Raymond?
I personally didn't make. I personally didn't make a report. I mean, I went to go visit one of my friends, and he asked me, "Oh, did you make a report?" And I was like, "You can make a report on like wheelchairs like that." I didn't know, so I haven't made a report. Plus, it was my fault as well because I didn't lock it up. My mind was thinking, like I said, I wouldn't expect anybody to steal the wheelchair. However, now that I do know, I know for a fact that when I do get the next wheelchair, I gotta start locking it up. I don't keep my wheelchair downstairs, so now it's harder for me. Because now that I can't keep my wheelchair downstairs in the laundry, I usually take it upstairs and I keep it in the house. And we live on the second floor, so like my girlfriend carries the wheelchair up the stairs into the apartment, and right after she's done, like when she leaves to work, whenever I need to go, now it's harder for me because now I gotta take the wheelchair literally from outside, from out of the house downstairs, you know? It's just a struggle.
Yo, Raymond, do you have any messages to the guys who jacked your chair? Anything you want to say to them if they see this?
You know, at first I was harsh on it. My mind was like literally going crazy. I was upset. So many emotions was flowing through me, not even positive emotions. It was all negative emotions, all towards the person that took it. I think for a couple of days after, like, I've been thinking about it, it's been really easing on my soul, and I've been like, you know, I've been telling myself, you know, it's come to that point where if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't come back, you know, the Lord will always provide. That's what they say. So, you know, for the person that took the wheelchair, if you're willing to bring it back, God bless your soul. If you're not willing to bring it back, hey, keep it. I'll find another one. I'll work up, you know, we'll work up a way to find another wheelchair for me. Hopefully it's a blessing for them as much as it was for me, because I know I for sure love that wheelchair.
Definitely.
Yes.
What's the address on
775
McNeil Street?
McNeil Street.
Raymond, you have any clips of you doing stuff in Waikiki? Like
No.
video clips?
I haven't
No
haven't started
YouTube, no-
recording yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So for the last couple of years, I've been going out to Waikiki, and it's just been startups. I haven't really taken magic professional seriously until I came out here. Before I was into music, so I was professionally finding my way in music.
Mhm.
And when I came out here, my laptop went down. So therefore, when the laptop went down, I was like, what's the next thing that I could do to keep me busy? And magic was one of the things that actually pushed me through, and I finally took it professionally serious within the last year or so.
What high school?
Castlemont High School,
Are you
Oakland,
Castlemont?
California. No, Oakland, California.
Oh, Oakland.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
from Oakland,
Okay.
California. Yes.
I actually got a deck of cards on me right now. If you want to show us a couple
Yeah.
card tricks.
Yeah. Might